Hello and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. It's been a little bit since the last time. I've been busy with a lot of stuff just in general, plus general power issues with the changing of the seasons where I live around here, so things are a little bit irky-jerky, just sort of in general, but I hope to at least aim for about an episode a week at the minimum. First things first, for things that have changed. One, we put a transfer node over here, just so we don't have to worry about refilling this with cobblestone ever. So cobbleworks are basically all done. We don't really have to worry about this anymore until we are ready to upgrade it. I changed out this room. Not sold on it. Not sold on the red. I would like it to be red, but I'm not sold on this texture. I'm really liking these corp blocks here. I'm not sure if I want to swap out all the black granite with it, but I do like these a lot. I'm definitely open to suggestions with that. Over here, or rather I, kind of made a big old room just to put a bunch of machines and stuff like that in. I know ingots are going to be a big thing that we're going to want to have a boatload on passive, so I'd like to have a couple of these walls probably dedicated to those exactly, because, well, we're kind of getting to the stage of the game where that's going to be a thing. Machines are going burr. As you might be able to see, I have about 15 machine frames on my bar here. I would like to do a lot of things with them today. Not the least of which is firstly a few ingots. Well, not firstly a few ingots, but this thing right here. We've got a clipboard here. I would like dark steel because I would like conduits. I would desperately, desperately like conduits. Conduits will change everything and make everything better. But for dark steel, we need dark ingots. And for dark ingots, we need a refined fuel line. And the refined fuel line, we're going to need a pulverizer, a magma crucible, and 2 fractionating stills. So that'll be some frames. Additionally, I'm going to want mana dust, probably a little bit after that, once I get the conduits and feel a lot better of the kind of position I'm with that. That'll be 4 fluid transposers, an igneous extruder, 2 pulverizers, and a glacial precipitator, I think it's called. If I did my math right, at least. Assuming all of that, this is about 12 machine frames, so I should have a couple extra, which is good. Ultimately, our goal is to get to this quest up here, and this quest down here, maybe this one. If we can get to, like, more EnderIO machines, or like the enchanter here, I would I say it all the time, because this thing is not good. This is not what I thought it was. This just enchants for you. It doesn't actually, like, let you pick. This is effectively kind of worthless. But the enchanter is the real one, because that one lets me pick and choose, as well as the arcane ensorcellator, I believe it's called. Ensorcellator? Yes. This I could actually probably do right now, but nah. Also, we need stuff like oh, a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of this probably isn't that crazy if it's like the actual enchantments we would want. Yeah, like the amelioration tome is very doable for mending. Holding is not too bad. There's probably more stuff around here that we actually would really want, like looting for Acomadeus is not the worst thing in the world. And it's effectively just Essence of Knowledge, which the question, actually, the Tome of Knowledge, well, those are both Tomes of Knowledge. This Tome of Knowledge is very doable, actually. I might want to make one of these, because it's a very good way to basically just transfer all that stuff. Which also reminds me, maybe a reservoir is in order now, because this is accessible now. Lots of stuff that I'll probably do just kind of between cuts. But ultimately, the first thing is, of course, we're going to want our refined fuel line. And so the refined fuel line is going to take, well, obviously refined fuel, which is going to need a fractionating still. I'm probably going to make a reflux column if I can. So we're not going to make the reflux column. So we're going to need a fractionating still of naphtha, which comes from another fractionating still of either oil, crude oil, or liquefied coal. Crude oil is probably doable. You probably have a little bit of bitumen and stuff like that around, as well as the shales. Plus, I believe you can excavate this. But I think overall, at least for the time being, we're going to use liquefied coal, just because it's not too much effort. So we're going to need a magma crucible for that as well. Did I put that on this? Yes, I did. Yeah, so for refined fuel, we need naphtha, which needs liquefied coal, which needs pulverized coal, which needs, obviously, coal pulverized in our circumstance is going to be a pulverizer. We're going to then kind of take that sulfur and use it for pyrotheum, so we don't have to worry too much about that, hopefully. That will lead into the mana dust line, which we'll do later. The rest of dark ingots, let's see, dark dust, dark ingot. Here we go. Bitumen and tar. Bitumen is also from this oil sand, so maybe we'll actually focus on that rather than the coal, if that's the circumstance, because if we get a lot of bitumen and tar, then it might be very worth doing that. Actually, I want to see if the excavator's done running, but I'll check that shortly. Yeah, so we need this bitumen and tar. Tar we will get pretty comfortably either from grinding the bitumen if it's the sand version, or stilling into naphtha. Yeah, we get a higher chance of getting tar with liquefied coal, but honestly, if we're already grinding it into crude oil, then we should be fine. Oh, wait, hold on, actually. So if we need bitumen, bitumen is pulverizing shale, or oils, shales, and sands. I guess more specifically sands for the tar as well. But we need... Oh, I guess we can melt the bitumen into crude oil. Yeah, so that might be what we end up doing, is processing that and then melting the bitumen instead. I don't think we really need bitumen for anything else, right? Just the dark stuff? Yeah. Yeah, so that's probably the first thing we're going to do today. Then either after that or after mana dust, I'm not super certain, I would like to upgrade power, because this is not great. We are effectively running off the battery most of the time, which is not ideal given we only really have the one battery, and the other battery we use to run the excavator, which basically drains our main system dry, which is not great. Speaking of which, looks like we're actually doing pretty good on that, but I would like to I usually like to run 2 batteries worth from the excavator. So I'll throw that there. But if you see this thing just drains super fast, it's almost like half gone already, which is good that we have a lot of power stored up, but I think we get like 700 RF a tick in, which is not what I would like, especially when running some of the immersive machines. Like the arc furnace takes way more than that. The arc furnace takes way more than we net positive, which is not ideal. Yeah, like 108 million, and this is how fast we generate it. Like we barely made like 300k in the time that it's been, which is not bad, but it's not good enough. So I would like to look into one of 2 options. I'm torn between either grassoline, I think is a good option, or as it currently stands, I think we can only get to refined canola oil. Because crystallized, yeah, we need the atomic reconstructor, which is a good ways out of our field of grasping. Canola is not too bad. We basically just still canola oil, which is just squeezing seeds, or the canola seeds, which is not terrible. It's only really 2 machines, not a ton of processing, but the yield is not great. 200,000 per bucket, and we get what? Takes 10,000 per bucket, plus the canola oil, which is probably not too much effort to run, honestly. Or grassoline is, I think I did the math, I want to say about a quarter of the power that we get out of each grassoline bucket is used on just making it. That said, grassoline makes 800,000 RF per bucket, which is really good. However, canola is also uniquely good in that we can upgrade it into crystallized oil, which is super easy, effectively. Like the 2,000 to turn a full bucket of the stuff into crystallized oil, which we're also going to need to make into empowered anyway, so I'm thinking we might do that just because it'll sort of scale nicely with itself. I definitely don't want to use the naphtha or refined fuel, because we need these for dark ingots, and I would rather not split our demands. Oil and hooch are not really worth it. Hooch is not hard to get per se, but it would need a vat, which is a whole line that we haven't gone down yet. Seed oil is not great. 80,000 per bucket's quite poor. Refined canola, we've already talked about. Creosote's terrible. Tree oil's not too bad, honestly, but it would take quite a while. I think we do need the rosin and stuff like that for stuff later. Yeah, for the coated clathrate, so we are going to need this stuff. But I think tree resin takes quite a while to produce. Like, the resin funnel works, but the resin machine, I don't think is going to be fast enough for us. I think. I might have to do some testing with that. Our other options here, after tree oil, what was it? Yeah, tree oil, naphtha. We don't want to use this crude oil and liquefied coal. We don't want to use those either. Biodiesel, if we're going to use biodiesel, we would already use it in the big generators, which we don't. Mostly because it's very finicky to try and make those work. But if we're going to use biodiesel, we may as well just use gasoline, I feel. Canola's not good. Gasoline we talk about. And then firewater and rocket fuel. Firewater is definitely doable. The main problem here would honestly probably be the redstone. But once again, that takes a vat. And rocket fuel is kind of the same thing of just... Honestly, it's probably just better firewater. Because this is what? Redstone and blaze powder. And this is gunpowder and redstone with hooch. This is not a bad option, truthfully. Rocket fuel... Do we need rocket fuel for anything else, actually, ever? We use it for the liquid crafter very eventually, but I don't think we need a ton of these thermal controllers. I could be wrong, though. We probably don't need to make this, like, a ton, but it's not a bad option. Honestly, I hadn't looked at rocket fuel. This might not be too bad. The worst thing here would, again, be the redstone, I feel. Everything else is sugar, and which is farmable, and yeah, potatoes probably seems like a pretty good option here, and poisonous. Yeah, potatoes and sugar is what is it, like 4 buckets of water to a bucket of hooch, which is not bad for a potato and a sugar. No, by no means. Another thing I'm a little tempted by is the zombie generator, but I don't think this is worth it in this pack. Yeah, getting 120 RF a tick is not bad, but I don't think it's good enough. What's tooltip say? Oh, okay. Yeah, like this is not bad, but because I think you can get most of this in mob drops with the the mushrooms are the other thing. The mushrooms are in sugar. I believe. Yeah, the spores recreator, but we need a farming station for that anyway. So if we're gonna make a farming station, we may as well just like go all the way with it, right? Oh, look at that! Very cool. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind for later. Yeah, so I'm thinking, honestly, looking through these additional options, rocket fuel, not a terrible one. Because again, we're basically kind of hard guarded by the vat in that circumstance. Which, by the time we get to conduits, we'd already have dark steel, right? Because dark steel is primarily stuff we've had plus energized dark, which is just dark plus fuel. Yeah, steel, fluid tanks, we've made these before. Steel we have. Dark bimetal gears is mostly easy enough, unless they change the grades of affinity recipes, which I don't imagine they would have. Simple powder furnace looks all pretty easy, except for the chassis. And then the chassis itself, of course, is... Yeah. Once we get dark steel, I feel like that's probably the hard part. So I'm thinking that's kind of the play is... Alright, first off, let me sleep to get rid of the rain. I'm thinking we start with the dark steel line, and then from there we can make the vat and probably a farming station, because while the current setup's not bad, it's not great. It's not great. I'll be quite frank. I'm not fond of a lot of what's going on here, honestly. I might change the design of this as well and kind of do some more prettying up to this. I like the concrete, but I'm not huge on it how it was with the rest of the base now. I have a lot of things to think about with regards to this, as well as just like this is just like a patio at this point. This isn't even like a proper walkway, which I kind of do want this open air, but I don't know. We'll see about a lot of stuff. Maybe I'll also kind of make like a hallway that leads from like here to here. Could be cool. Looks like there's actually quite a nice line that leads between those two, so that could be a very solid option. I like interlinking pathways between the base. But yeah, in terms of the farming station, actually, because that's also the thing we want to look at. Yeah, those are free, basically. Energized bimetal, doable, Franken-zombie. We need the soul binder. So we could just kind of keep this going for right now, and then... Actually, how much effort is the soul binder from industrial chassis? Is soul-attuned dye, which is kind of meh. Kind of standard recipe. Yeah. Soul binder is also a mostly standard recipe. Are vials bad? I mean, that's not great. Yeah, we need a slice and splice, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We're gonna want a bunch of those anyways. So, I don't know, I'll do some thinking about that, because that's gonna be in the future anyway, or not in the future, but not right now anyways. Because once again, this all revolves around us having dark steel. So, let's start with that. Alright, so I think I've got this set up. So we aren't actually going to be pulverizing for bitumen, I don't think. At least not to start with. I don't think we should need it, because I think, given we get 5 rolls at tar every single time we process the oil into naphtha, we should have a pretty good rate. So this is going to be for the oil sands and stuff like that. Runs into this magma crucible. The magma crucible is going to be inserting from the top with auto input and extracting, or outputting to the right. This one will be inputting on the left, be outputting items down. This will be our tar. I might move this all up a block. And to the right is going to be our naphtha. Inputting on the left is going to be our naphtha, outputting on the right is going to be our fuel, and outputting on the bottom is going to be more sulfur. This we're probably just going to use an export bus rather than any sort of drawer system, because I feel like I want to keep this mostly clean. Ideally, we just kind of want to pull out sulfur. If we get sulfur from other locations, I don't think we do. I can double check real quick, though. If we do get it from other locations, though, then we'll figure that out. Let me check. I think the only other place I could think of us getting it from is mob stuff, which doesn't look like we do. By the way, this is going very, very well. This setup has gone very well. It knows how to prioritize the iron drum. This has proved mostly pretty good on the filter. I've changed it a little bit to have a few more things. I might need the second filter soon, but as it stands, very few things are coming into this chest, which is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah, so it doesn't look like we're getting sulfur down here. So I'm thinking we might just either export bus from that sulfur drawer up at the fractionating still, or maybe we just kind of leave it here with a storage bus. I'm not certain. But yeah, anyway. So, tar will go here, sulfur will go here, and then our refined fuel should go here. Refined fuel... we can either fluid transpose straight into dark dust or dark ingots. Both of these are not bad options. In fact, I think they're better options than this, because this is 10 per. Yeah. Yeah, so it's a lot better to induction smelt this then. Definitely, definitely. Because it's only 100 per operation instead of 125, so we're getting 10 ingots per or 10 ingots per bucket of refined fuel as opposed to 8. So this is actually definitely worth it if we want to fluid transpose this. So I should grab a fluid transposer. The next issue is going to be the dark dust itself, which is going to be where's it at? Where's that induction smelter up here? I guess the dark ingot. Okay, so we're gonna need the bitumen and the tar. Actually, is the only way to get bitumen through? Ah, that's why. Okay, yeah. So in that circumstance, we'll move this up. This is fine. This is easily fixable. So we'll move the oil sands up a bit, or the oil sands input up. Put our pulverizer here. Inserting from the top. We are outputting the bitumen down. No, because we need 2 outputs of bitumen. No. Yeah, because you need the bitumen to go into 2 different places. Is this round robin? I mean, I suppose as long as this isn't like there's just a buffer we need to fill, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, so we can have it go down on this one and then output both to the right. So outputting both to the right is the bitumen and the tar, which is what we need to make the dark ingots. So we'll have a induction smelter here, and then that will give us our dark ingots, which we can buffer here. Maybe this is gonna look a lot worse than I thought it would. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be a very clean setup. I don't know anymore. I'll buffer dark ingots here. We can pull those either down with like a pipe or something like that into an induction smelter, which will sit right here, which will have our refined fuel plus no fluid transposer, not an induction smelter. Fluid transposer, which will fluid transpose our refined fuel that we'll be getting from this still with the dark ingots I'll be getting from this still, or this drawer. Goodness me, my head's spinning. Which should give us our energized dark ingots right here. That's the plan, at least. Let me do a little bit of cleanup, see if I can't make this a little bit nicer, and we'll come back. Alright, so the excavator's been running for just a little while, so hopefully this setup should all work. It's a little bit cleaner, I think. My only gripe is that it's mostly 4 wide instead of 5. I would really like it to have 5, but oh well. So I should just be able to plug this in, output on the back. Oh, no. Input on the left, output on the back. Should be able to output on the back to power up all these machines. Looks like it's going well. So we should be able to just dump in the oil sand up here that the excavator's been running through. This should hopefully process this down fairly... I mean, it's at a fine enough pace. So then it should give us tar and bitumen. And then once this is... what do you call it? Has a good enough backlog, it should... Actually, hold on. This can also just give tar out that way, at the bottom. Tar is not what we want to send there, so... yeah. We would want actually red only to go down there. Yes, this is making us our first dark ingots already. I need a servo here, it looks like. I was tempted to see if I needed a servo for this or not, but it looks like I do. Oh. Is this already running? Oh, it is! Oh, wonderful! Okay, so it's already sending... It actually does... looks like it sends a little bit back and forth. Or maybe it's prioritizing down first, which is just fine. We have a little bit of bitumen that we've picked up before, so I'm going to turn on auto input here. So that should be taking from here, which should be running us into here, which is our crude oil. We got the drawer key to lock these, which is, oh my god, it's already working! That's incredible. I couldn't even go through the whole process fast enough. That's amazing. Alright, so oil sand goes into here, gives us bitumen and tar. Some of the bitumen and all of the tar should go into here. Some of the bitumen should go into here. I will probably... yeah, I probably do need to hook up some way of taking this tar into here, just for ease's sake. But this should be fine still, because this should still give, I believe, a tar every other pull, right? Yeah, every other, all of that should give us a piece of tar, which will give us a dark ingot. Yeah, so this will half of the time give us a dark ingot, and dump all of our bitumen in here, which is stilling, or which is being melted down into crude oil here, which is being stilled into naphtha here, which is stilling the naphtha into refined fuel here, which is being stored here for any dark ingots that come along. Oh, I don't need a thing because, yeah, all right, sweet. And it's immediately transposed using only 100 millibuckets into our dark ingot, our energized dark ingots. Oh, I need to hold normal. Hold on. For the quest, I need to actually. Okay, hold on. Let's not break everything here. I'll let this run for a little bit so I can grab the quest and I'll catch you back. Beats our psychic types. Ooh, and it even gives us a portable tank full of smoldering tar. I don't think we can use that actually. Can we? No, this is. Oh, interesting. I don't know why you would necessarily want to do this, but it's definitely an option. Should have another 4 to make our 8. Dark and energetic. Oh, and there's dark steel. There's chassis. And we're... Oh, wait, does this already... We're already a conduit finder! Ah, I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, every little bit. Oh, man. The applied energistics and conduits are probably the happiest I'll be for quite a while. Oh man, we already have like all of this just like done. Like we already have a cobbleworks. The only thing we're missing really to automatically make these is like clay. Oh, I guess we could automate the quern. No, we're not automating no quern. Actually, how do you pronounce that? I think I meant to look that up earlier. Quern, it's quern. We don't need to automate a quern. I'd rather not at least. Clay. Is there any great way to get clay? We shouldn't need to automate clay. At least not currently. We should be fine for at least a while. Oh my god, we're already at like we're already over a quarter of a stack. I'm actually so jazzed about this. It looks like the thing that may prove to be an issue, however, is if the bitumen backs up, actually. So maybe what we do is we run this down into this drawer. Like here. We're going to put some facades over these, by the way. Maybe we run this down into here so we don't have this filling up here and kind of backlogging the whole system. But as it currently stands, this is phenomenal. Alright, so we can actually just... Dark steel. We can take those 3 off the line for right now. That and that. Those... Yeah. Cool. Clean up a lot of pins. So dark steel is going to be refined obsidian, energized dark ingots, and normal steel. We should have a decent amount of all of these still, if I'm not mistaken. So steel, we have enough of. I do want to throw some more of that in, actually. Refined obsidian, and then currently, actually, we're just kind of low on the energized dark ingots. So let me actually go throw in another batch of steel. Is this just 1 in 1? Yeah. Let's go grab another 2 stacks of iron and batch up some steel. Alright, so I may have overjumped the gun a little bit. I was under the impression that this needed dark steel. No, we just need dark dust. So this is already done, actually. We're going to make 3 batches of the energy conduits to start with, which is actually a lot more than it is. We're going to make, let's go 6 of the item conduits, which we actually already got some we actually already finished the quest, rather, because I just picked some up from the system that we had extra, so we have a little bit more of those. This will give us another 2 of those. So then we can make ender energy conduits. I'm not sold on doing that right now. Actually, maybe I am. I probably didn't need to go this hard on these, but this should last me for a very long time. I shouldn't need to make more energy conduits for a while. Yes, I should be able to just do this and then, like, get 2 ender pearls and then make, like, a lot more of these, which will be phenomenal. I love conduits. least it should work, right? I hope it works. But yeah, so with that said and done, what we can now do is we're going to, once we... I'll probably wait before upgrading that all to, I'll probably get to the Ender energy conduits before going super into that. But what the current plan is real quick is I want to basically take this so it outputs to here and here, and then this outputs into the correct slots. With the magic of conduits, might be a little bit bad from the back, but it should still be pretty clean as to where things are going. There shouldn't be too many channels, or not channels, is it channels with conduits? Yes, channels. There shouldn't be too many channels going on back here, so it should be fine. We're just going to take from here, insert into these two, and then take from these two and insert into here. Basically just to have the buffers, but also having them still look pretty clean. First batch of energy conduits. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we're going to actually just kind of knock this whole thing out. I really like the look of flux ducts, but I love the functionality of conduits just so much more. Sorry, flux ducts. So we want to be, let's see. We can actually just pull both of these away. Instead, we're just going to be extracting on brown, because we don't, in my opinion, I don't like to do anything on green, because in case something goes in the wrong spot, then that's not good. I'm not opposed to insert on green to like take things back to system, but I don't like doing things on green. So we're going to extract on brown to these two. We're going to insert brown on both of these. So then these should fill up with the bitumen and tar. Oh, we need to extract out the back. Now this should be... Did I turn it on? No. Okay, now? Yes. So now these should be extracting out the back. Perfect. And then we want to have these extract on blue into that one. Insert on blue. So what that should do is it'll take everything on this brown channel and put it into the two things that are accepting on brown channel. And then these are both extracting on the blue channel, which should input to the things that are accepting on the blue channel, which is only this induction smelter. So basically this kind of just cleans up our stuff a little bit. And then this should still be pulling from the bitumen pile down here just directly, so we shouldn't need to worry about that. We can actually take off that insert as well. So this should just be more or less the same system, but a little bit kind of cleaner in terms of routing our items, which is good. Good to practice that kind of thing. As well as it all does it very, very, very compactly. Still need to put the facades on those, but we'll worry about that in a second. As it stands, we are now producing a lot of dark ingots, which means we're producing a lot of energized dark ingots, which means we'll be soon producing a lot of dark steel. Dark steel is done. Yeah. So I did not actually have page 2 here. But yeah, so I'm thinking instead of doing mana dust, we pivot to try to make rocket fuel, actually. Like, what do we need? 2 vats. Farming station. That's probably, well, maybe not necessarily a farming station, but a farming station would probably be better, which is here. So for that, we're going to need dark steel, the chassis, into the alloy smelter, into the enhanced chassis, into the soul-bound chassis, into the farming station. And it looks like the experience monolith is down here as well, which is also something I not desperately want, but I would like greatly. I'm getting very ahead of myself, though. First, we need dark steel and the alloy smelter. So who's going to tell me that I didn't have this on insert on the back and it wasn't going to work unless I did that? Which one of you was going to tell me? Which one of you was going to tell me, huh? But come on, it's okay. You don't have to. You can fess up. It's all right. I won't be mad. But why didn't you guys tell me, huh? Huh? Dark steel. Pack maker's favorite ingot. A very respectable choice. What's darker than steel? A lot of things. Spruce tree log, lump of coal, black coal. Ooh, that's quite a nice winter coat then. I'll probably pick that choice later. I've actually got a lot of quest rewards to collect. Let's do that real quick. Electrum gears, good start, good stuff. Metallurgical recovery. Don't really need that. Don't really need those. I'll take that. Morphing tool I actually did want to try out. Pyroconvective loop we don't need right now. Constantin gears, I will take that. The smoldering tar tank. The naphtha tank I actually will take. And then we're back here. Oh, ooh, that's a good one. Okay, so Sivana. Okay, so we need to go to Bedrock and get some Grains of Infinity. So I'm gonna make like a couple flint and steels, I think, for that actually. Actually, I want to check, how does this morphing tool work? Did it say how to make this work? Fire various wrenches to the rewarded morphing tool to easily swap between them. So if I take this and this, and maybe I can do the configurator? So is this basically just kind of like an Akashic Tome? Oh? Oh? Oh! Ooh! Okay. Ooh! Oh! And then if I... Yeah, I think I have to scroll through each of them individually, but like... If I... Wait. Oh? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I hope I wasn't too loud for a second there, but oh my gosh, that's so cool. Why have I never used this thing before? This thing's awesome. Wow. Wow, that's so cool. And it, oh my gosh, that's incredible. Oh man, I wonder if it works if I have to go like repair the excavator, or not repair, but like rebuild the excavator too. Oh man, this thing is so cool. Wow, this thing is so cool. I'm not even inputting anything. This just does that. Like, it just swaps automatically. That's so cool. Wow. Okay, let's go make a bunch of flint and steel. Let's go get a bunch of infinity. There we are. All right, so next we got our simple alloy smelter to go. Basically just seems to be a diet arc furnace, which is still good. How do we get a... What? Why? What? Really? What? What? Why? I have so many... Why is that an undershirt? I have so many questions. None of them really need answering right now, I suppose. Simple alloy smelter looks like the main thing. Then we just go to enhanced soul and then just kind of go from there. All right. Seems easy enough. Well, hello, we found ourselves back after that little intermission of sorts. Put together our 4 pretty good EnderIO machines. I decided to go for a double layered to start with here. Except for these alloy smelter, I've gone for the full octadic? I'll look this up as well. Octadic capacitor for that one, and then just doubles for the rest of these. Which should suffice for a while, at least until we can probably afford to have a lot more, because they're not cheap, but they're not, you know, expensive. I just didn't feel like going all the way in. So now we've kind of got all the way down to here. We could... That's a lot of color text. Yeah, so it looks like EnderIO is a pretty healthy ways done. We do want to probably get the next two big things here, which is going to be the farming station and the experience obelisk. We need two vats, right? The vat, excuse me. Two of the vat, which is another powered furnace, or rather two, we're going to be two powered furnaces plus, that's a lot of machine frames, but I'm sure as you realize, we made quite a few. I figured this is probably going to be worthwhile. I made half a stack of machine frames. They're not all upgraded to the EnderIO ones because I don't think I'll need them all to be EnderIO ones, but I felt the half a stack of machine frames would just not go remiss. Took a pretty good hit into our supplies, primarily steel, I believe was the big thing that ended up being a problem. However, now that we're at Thermal Expansion, now that we're at Thermal Expansion, I believe that steel should be a lot easier for us now, because we should be able to make the pyrolytic conversion. This will take one of the Z-Logic controllers that we made a couple extras of, plus the coke bricks and some silver plates, to let us make our coal coke, and as well as like creosote, I guess, but primarily coal coke. This will be very handy because it should, I think, be faster than the default blast furnaces, but if nothing else, it'll be a lot smaller and a lot more compact and a lot easier to automate. I should just be able to like put in an input, put in an output, in like a fluid trash can at most and call it a day. Which is great, because coal coke is very important for steel, and I would really like to get passive steel sooner than later. It's not going to be fully passive unless I set up like export buses, but I might just do that, honestly. Now that we've kind of got machines going places, export buses are starting to seem a lot more enticing. I'm thinking also between episodes, I'm going to revamp a lot of this stuff to be conduit-ified, because a lot of these pipes aren't great. Like, some of these are real messes behind the scenes. Like, I think this one's not too bad, but it's not great. Yeah, like, this is a little much. It'd be a lot easier if we could just, like, run a conduit up the side and a conduit down the other side, and that would be good. And then, this whole mess back here is quite an experience. Power is still kind of keeping up. We did fully connect to here and to here. This is just sort of taking off of that battery down there, which we have. Just kind of running from here to here, here, and then this is sort of just piggybacking those setups over there behind this wall. Lots of stuff that's going to be cleaning up now that we have access to conduits, which will be very, very nice because things are just nicer when they're clean. I think I'm actually just going to start rocket fuel because I think if I have a rough kind of guess of how long this is going, I want to say rocket fuel is probably all we have time for. I resigned myself to making a stack of unending bowls, and I think this is starting to finally catch up with me. I need 8 stacks of Dugonia. I'm going to be here for a minute. Would you believe 10 stacks of bone meal was not enough to get 8 stacks of Dugonia, even on the Terran soil? I'm really starting to regret not having put Dugonia back on the automatic farm after I got it changed up. I might just change that soon. Check out this tree, man. This is like 30 blocks tall. That reaches the cliff. Yeah, we need a lot of vines, is why I'm doing this, for a bunch of mossy stone so that we can get a bunch of terra moss. I crunched the numbers on my other monitor here. I need 11 stacks of vines, and then I need to manually cut 11 stacks of mossy stone. Not looking forward to that one, let me tell you. Actually, I should be cutting these trees down with a knife, because I'm going to need all the bark anyways. Yeah, I thought it was a cool tree. Oh, also, a different thing that I was thinking about but I didn't want to cut back in just specifically for. So these crops drop the things on the ground, right? We have absorption hoppers. We don't actually need farming stations right now. Like, the absorption hoppers aren't the best, because it's, what, 7x7, right? Yeah, 7x7. Yeah, I don't think you can upgrade these. Can you? Can you? Maybe you can. If you can, great. But yeah, these are 7x7s. Like, this is pretty good if we have the throughput to pull it all out, which is very possible, honestly. Like, we could probably, because I think these are 13x13 plots, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 13x13s. So if we can get, like, one absorption hopper with the max upgrades just kind of, like, in the middle, I think, I could get all three of these layers, I think, which would be really nice to just have 3 full layers of farming going. Obviously, we'll need the farming station for things like trees, like slime trees are going to be a big thing, but, you know, until then, those are not bad, especially considering they cost nothing to run. Very, very excited to see if those will work. In the meantime, I need to get back to cutting trees and cutting vines. I thought that this was a Fey craft. No, it is a pirate craft, actually. So today I've learned how to automate this. Wasn't too hard. Once again, I apologize if there's a large disconnect between my voice from this recording and last recording. It's been a few days and a few things have happened, but I can get into that another time. But this is 10 seconds per craft, and we need about roughly 200 crafts, if not more, I believe. I think this also just drops the stone, does it? Yes. So we also need to figure that out. Yes, this is very doable now, though. We have a lot of mob grindium and ender pearls are on no short order. That's nice. Full stack of these is going to be really useful. Alright, so our vat setup to start with is going to be pretty simple. What we're just going to do is we're just going to have 2 of these kind of sitting right here. We're going to have an unending bowl. We'll say... Actually, I wonder if this thing can auto-import. Can this... Oh, it can! Oh, okay, well that changes a lot. So we can just have this thing auto-import, so we actually don't even need that. Then we're going to have a ender conduit here, an item conduit here, and almost certainly an energy conduit here as well. What we're going to do is we're going to have 2 inputs, one on either side of the, or one on top of both of these rather. Pulling. So we should be able to just do this and this. And we'll just kind of dump everything in here until we get a automated, or rather until we get export buses and import buses and the like. Basically proper applied energy setup. So next we need some capacitors, which we should actually have, if I'm not mistaken. These are fine. They should be good enough, I'd imagine, for at least a little while. I'll probably boost these up to double layered soon, but for now this is fine. As for power, we could just kind of slap some cables around here. And I think for the short, brief period, we just will. We have a spare energy cell here that we can use. That will just have export on the bottom, which is already kicking this on, which is good. It's a good sign. And we'll have it import on the front here for right now, I think it's, well, if we can do it on the top, we'll do it on the top. Slap that there, connect these up. Not good? Oh, this is MV and that's LV. Okay, we could just swap this to LV then. That's fine. Alright, now those are linked up. So this should hopefully make it go positive on power. Oh no, this needs to have export on, right? Yes, output. So now this should be going power positive? Yes, very much so. Alright, so now we're making quite a healthy amount of hooch here. So we're going to... actually, we should probably just get rid of the item conduit in general. So let's replace this and the fluid conduit. Fluid conduit will have extract on brown, always. We'll have this insert on brown, and it's already working great. So next, to put that together, we need our gunpowder and a redstone. Once again, we'll just kind of dump this in the chest at the top, and assume it goes well enough for a while. We can just sort of both dump that in bulk. like gunpowder, we can just grab like 3 stacks. Redstone, we can just grab like 3 stacks. Potatoes, we do need to farm up some more, but we'll get that automated come next episode. And then sugar, we'll just grab like 2 stacks. We're actually getting sugar from the mob farm, which is quite nice. So this is almost entirely self-sufficient, which is really good. Redstone, we do get a little bit from the mob farm, but it's very questionably enough to make this actually running. That is our best form of making rocket fuel, right? Yes, okay. And then rocket fuel gives us a lot of energy back. So I'll set up some compression dynamos, probably just kind of along here, in these little 4-ish spots, maybe 3 by something or other. And we'll just sort of play it by ear from there. Maybe I'll see if I can come up with a nice design or something like that. And then, depending on how much energy we produce, we might just can the thermal electrics entirely, or kind of just put it out of sight, maybe, or maybe we'll have another kind of push this back and downstairs a little bit. We'll see what happens. The final design of this room, I think, is going to be very tentative. The main thing I want to do is get the compression dynamos in so we can have a significant power upgrade, because we're kind of dying for it now. So you know how I thought it was a great idea to make about half a stack of machine frames? Well, it was kind of a good idea. The problem here is that the compression dynamo needs the furnace generator, which uses the extra utilities machine block, which we've already turned all of ours, effectively, into machine frames. So we need to kind of go through that line again, which is very unfortunate, because I think that was the majority of our GP powder that we had used up for that. Oh no, we actually do have a decent amount left. What is this per? 6 per machine block? Do we even have... How much number do we just have? Oh, we actually do have quite a bit. Okay, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it was. And there's our compression dynamos. All 6 of them. Yeah, we can just use the pressurized conduits right now. We'll use these pressurized ones to fill up the dynamos. These shouldn't... I don't think these will be, like, a ton of power to start with. I believe... They're facing the wrong way, firstly. I believe that they only produce, like, 20 to start, no? So this should be inputting on the right. I suppose we can have it, we can have output on the left for when we recharge batteries. We should be able to just kind of slap these around the right way. Hook up some more conduits. And then hook up some pipes in the back. Be extract always. Should be draining rocket fuel. And we need coolant. Yes. Yes, coolant. We're probably just going to use water here, because we don't really have jelly cryolithium on that much of a freebie. Suppose here is fine. So then this should be extract always, and these should be filling up with water. 40 RF a tick, okay. So this is an additional 240, which I think is less than our thermoelectric generators produce by default, actually. Which is not great, gotta say. It looks like the ones at the bottom here are filling up first, which is fine. I know we can put upgrades in these. We can even put augments in them already, which I believe actually... Yeah, auxiliary transmission coil is what we would want here. Osgoglass, transmission coils. Yeah, let's grab 6 of those. Let's make 6 of those up real quick. Dunking these and everything, I think I want to say doubles the output. 80! That's a more significant improvement. Yeah, 480 instead. That will actually be quite a significant improvement. Are these all full? That one's full. That one's full. Why are you not getting anything? Why are you on export only? That's odd. Alright, so it looks like we're backing up actually on rocket fuel, which is quite good. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're actually consuming too much to keep everything running here. Yeah, 480 is a lot better. And then I think between episodes, I'm going to look at some of them, actually not between episodes. Next episode, we will get mithril, which will let us make these mithril gears to make the hardened upgrade kits. These will let us put another one, and by that point we'll be able to make these flux electron plates into the reinforced upgrade kits, which should be able to make us get another one, which I'm not sure if each one will quadruple our output, but I'm not sure if we'll even need to go to Electrum, truthfully. And so with that, actually, I think I'm going to call it here, because I feel like this is probably running a little long at this point. I apologize for if things seemed very shaky or off during this video, or just kind of the vibes changed a lot. Ultimately, I did end up recording this over a couple days rather than just the standard one-sitting session. And a few things happened between some of the sections. I had a pretty nasty fall between sort of this little session and the last one, and so I'm still kind of getting back from that, but I should be fine before too long. I hope to kind of continue doing this despite that, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to catch you around next time, excuse me, my goodness, where hopefully we'll make this look a lot prettier than it is, because this does not look particularly good, as well as kind of hopefully having this a bit more automated than it is. But until then, bye-bye.